Hello and welcome back, Realty Pros, and thank you for joining us for another week of Realty Talk. We are moving forward in this season. We are moving forward. We are working with our for sale by owners, and we have received and continue to receive extensive training for these sellers. And so with that being said, we are absolutely going to continue on in that vein. And again, we have with us our broker extraordinaire, Miss Jasmine Porter. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to you. And again, thank you as always for being available to us and for providing us with such great training and training opportunities.
Thank you so much, Anita, and good afternoon, Realty Pros. We are excited that all of you carved out the time to join us today. As you know, we are on a for sale by owner initiative, so brokerage-wide, for each and every last Realty Pro to take this charge and prospect to your for sale by owners. We have had the last 2 weeks of trainings in this particular area. And I know that everybody who's joined us has gathered some great information, and I want us to continue to solidify those things and then to layer them, right? Because as we talked about with prospecting, it's somewhat of a symphony, and that you don't just have one tool, you have multiple tools in your tool belt. So just like that, with your for sale by owners, we're going to continue to kind of build on that today and give you guys some talking points so that you can pivot. Because we can have a script, you can have know-how, but you got to have people skills. You got to have, kind of tools to pull from in your tool belt so that when you're talking to people and they don't take the path that you want them to, you're able to pivot because you're prepared. Okay. So as it pertains to the for sale by owners, we have had some very exciting conversation. I've heard a lot of great feedback from you guys. And in that icebreaker before we began our recording today, we got some great feedback from a couple of you. But of course, for everybody that's on the line now, and for those that'll be listening to the call after we finish today, I want to, again, as always, do a recap of last week so that we can get started with this week. So there's some things that you see in front of us with regards to our protocol for prospecting for sale by owners. So I want you guys to, let's go ahead, and as always, this is interactive. I want somebody to kind of walk us through, and you guys can take maybe 2 bullet points apiece. Walk us through where we've been so far on this for sale by owner journey and what you've gotten out of that process. And the very first piece is line item number 1. And let's see who we want to have to walk us through that. D, come on off of mute and go through bullet point number 1 for us and tell us what our rationale was behind that.
Okay, so we said to email or text message to schedule a phone call. And what we wanted to do was let folks know that we are realtors in the area, that this is an area that we work professionally in or strongly in, and we may have clients for their particular property, and that we would like to schedule a time to come through and look so that we can actually talk with our clients about their home and market it to our buying clients. So we're trying to just begin getting our feet wet with this particular prospective client who is a FSBO, by letting them know that we can help them out in marketing their home. Pretty much.
Thank you for your feedback, Dee. Does anybody else have any other takeaway or a different takeaway for the email and text portion? Let's see. Aurelia, tell me what you recall from the email and text message portion. If you're able to unmute yourself. If not, no worries.
I can unmute myself. It's been kind of hard for me to focus on what we have been doing in the day, even though I have been participating because of my position right now. But I can just read the list of what you have on number 2 as far as making the calls, and that is establishing that rapport with the FSBOs by asking specific questions to them and scheduling a tour so that we can get, I guess, face to face with that individual, coming prepared with materials and things that the for sale by owner may not have thought of to increase their I guess their views of their property and ideas, so that we can establish that rapport with them. I think just getting in front of that person and explaining, what tools we have available and how we can help them, just so that we can establish that rapport is what I got from what I did, hear about as far as encouraging getting in front of them.
Thank you so much, Aurelia, and Dee as well. I will do a little bit of recap there for you. You ladies have done a fine job. So with our introduction to our for sale by owners, the purpose of what we're doing is establishing trust. People are going to work with you if they know you, they like you, and trust you. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is that introduction, and you want to be very polite so that they take to you on that call. You want to have a friendly approach, a friendly voice, so forth and so on. And we talked about just kind of the mindset of a for sale by owner, with one who thinks that, I can do it on my own. I don't need an agent. They may think that they understand the sales process from A to Z, and that's fine. Most of these are people who may be a lot more intelligent than maybe a homeowner, who says, well, I won't even try it on my own. At any rate, we want to make sure that we befriend them, and we want to just establish a rapport, exactly like Aurelia was saying, as it pertains to that. What we don't want to do is we don't want to promise something that we don't have. So as we were talking about, and we could as it pertains to the buyer, but as we were talking about being a local market expert, or being, we want to be their real estate resource, we work with buyers and sellers in the area, or even I have to know what's going on in the market. My broker has, and I even said, hey, put it on your broker and say, my broker has made me responsible for knowing what's going on in my local real estate market. I work with buyers and sellers in your area. I realized that you were selling your home. And then we can kind of get into the questions from there. So I just want to make sure that we kind of clean that piece up so that what we are sharing with the for sale by owners is absolutely accurate. So if we have a buyer for the home, then that's what we say, but it's not necessarily, hey, we have a buyer for your home. It's we work with buyers and sellers in your area. Okay. So with that being said, we move forward. Our goal is to send the emails. We talked about the websites, and we're going to revisit a couple of them today. Send in that email or make a text message, because that's the information that's immediately offered on that website, so that we're making the initial introduction. The purpose behind that was so that your phone call is more of a warm call opposed to it being just a cold call. Now, as we talk about tools in your tool belt, you can always call right offhand, because you're going to have cell phone numbers for most of these sellers. So you can absolutely call right offhand. But remember, we were talking about the highest and best use of our time. So the highest and best use is to reach out to them first on one of those platforms. And then when they follow up with you by email or text message, to schedule that call immediately or get them on the call. Because now you've already gotten the introduction, and the invite. And thank you. So as it pertains to following up with that for sale by owner afterwards, then you're going to go ahead and begin that conversation with them. You want to schedule your tour of the property within that conversation, right? I want us to go today. We're going to go through some additional scripts. And I say this because you guys need as many tools for your tool belt as possible, because it is not a one size fits all when you're talking about different personality types. Another thing that I want you guys to start doing today and after today, I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to put in for sale by owner scripts, because as we go through scripts here together on Realty Talks, I want you guys to know that there are a plethora of other examples. There are a plethora of other, kind of approaches, if you will. And it's not one is accurate and the others are inaccurate. They're just different tools for different scenarios, and you want to make sure that you're equipped to handle those things, okay? So as it pertains to that phone call, one of the things that we want to do is make sure that we are ready for objections. And that's what we were talking about. And that's, I believe, where we ended last week, being prepared for those objections, because you already know what that for sale by owner is considering. So if there's anybody that recalls any of the objections that we talked about before with the for sale by owner, hopefully they're fresh and top of mind. If not, this is the place where we're going to go ahead and kind of sharpen your skills so that you know how to respond to those when you're on the phone with your for sale by owner. Is there anybody who is brave enough to take yourself off mute or drop it in the chat and let us know what some of those most prominent objections are with the for sale by owner? And the answer to your question, D, is yes, there are for sale by owner scripts and brokerment. And yes, there are tons on YouTube as well. Definitely. As it pertains to those objections, the number one objection is that they do not want to pay a commission. And the seller is going to come from any angle possible just to say, hey, I don't need to work with a real estate agent. I'm fine. I'm going to, sell the property myself. And just know at the end of the day, all of that is about not paying a commission. So we talked about how we respond to that. And I just want to give us each a chance today as we're on the line. I want for every last Realty Pro to be able to talk this through. And it's a very, very simple bullet point. And that simple bullet point is your goal or your primary goal to sell the property yourself or to net the most money? Is the primary goal, or is your primary goal to sell the property yourself or to net the most money? All right, I want for every last Realty Pro, I want you to rehearse that right now, because we're going to come off of mute and we're going to do a bit of role playing there. Is your primary objective to sell the property yourself or to net the most money? All right, say that 3 times. Hopefully you guys have got it down. Because as it pertains to for sale by owners, we all know that when they work with a real estate professional, their home is going to sell for much more than it will on their own. Most of them think that by selling it themselves, they're saving so much money because they're not paying a listing agent commission, but most of them are willing to pay a buyer agent's commission. Every now and again, you'll find some that don't want to work with any agents at all. But at the end of the day, they end up working with agents about 90% of the time. So that's where the establishing the rapport and establishing the trust and all those things came in, so that when they are ready to work with a real estate professional, you guys have already positioned yourselves to be the real estate professional that they know, like, and trust. So there's some of them that are going to give you an appointment. A lot of them expect that when you make these calls, they are going to have objections. Just know that that's the mindset. So embrace it and be ready for it, and be ready for the long haul. Just like Dee said, from the perspective of establishing that relationship and knowing that this is something that you need to work towards. Because at the end of the day, when they're ready to list, you want to be the person that they're ready to list with. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that particular aspect? All right. Now, I just mentioned some key language. I want for you guys to take yourselves off of mute, and I will be your for sale by owner. And you are going to call me, and you're going to, do your script. Hey, I'm your local real estate agent, and I wanted to see if, forgive me for that. We can do a take 2 there, but not for real, neither. But I am your local real estate agent, and I see that you're selling your home on your own. Can I ask a question? Is it most important that you sell the home on your own or that you net the most money? That's what you're going to ask. Okay. Does everybody have that? D, you are correct. Active in the chat. I love it. All right. Who wants to go first? I see someone has unmuted themselves. Who wants to go first?
I can try.
You've got this, Aurelia.
Okay. Hello, my name is Aurelia Douglas, and I am with Porterhouse International Realty Group, and I am your local real estate agent. And I wanted to see, I see that you are trying to sell your house, and your home, and I wanted to be of help to you and helping you to get the most money
No,
out of
thank you. No,
your sale.
thank you, Rowdy. No,
No.
no, thank you. No, thank you. Where'd you say your name was? And what company are you from?
Aurelia Douglas.
It's okay. I know what I'm doing. I can sell the property myself. No, thank you.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. Is your primary goal to sell the property yourself, or is it to net the most money, to get the most money out of your property?
Of course, it's to get the most money out of my property. That's why I'm selling it myself. No, thank you. I don't want to work with the agent. I want to get the most money out of my property. No, thank you.
Okay, well, I think that I have the tools that you need in order to make the most out of the sale. If you give me that opportunity, I can stop by and show you the tools that I have to help you reach your goal.
Great job, Aurelia. You did not back down. The seller was giving you all kinds of flack and saying no, thank you, and you continued. Great
Okay.
job. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that.
All right, thank you.
All right, who wants to go next? Come on, brave souls. All right, let's see who I need to call on. DSE, are you clapping or are you raising your hand? All right, so
Cheryl is going to do it. She can do it.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Come on, Cheryl.
I was just clapping
Okay.
for Aurelia.
Hi. Hi, I was just driving around the neighborhood and I saw that you had a for sale sign in your yard by the owner. Well, my name is Cheryl and I'm from Porterhouse International Realty Group. So I'm wondering if you'd like some information on, helping selling your home.
Thank you, Cheryl, but I'm not interested in working with an agent today. I appreciate it. I can sell my home on my own.
Okay, sounds good. I like that statement. But let me ask you a question. Is your primary obligation to sell the home, sell your property, or are you trying to net the most money out of your property? Which of those are most on your higher list from 1 to 10?
Well, I'm looking to make the most money possible. That's why I don't work with the agent. Thank you, Cheryl. I don't need to work with the
Okay,
agent. I'm
okay,
going to
but
sell the home
hold
myself.
on. Listen, I understand that you want to make the most money, but what if I told you that I could help you make the most money out of out of your property? What's your response then?
Well, I don't want to pay a commission. And if I have to pay a commission, some agents want 6%,
Hold on, you're
listing
jumping the
side.
gun a little bit. You're jumping the gun a little bit. Hold on a minute. Let me show you what I have that I can help you make the most money out of your property. You're talking about commissions and all these other things. Let's stop right there because remember, you said you wanted to net the most money out of your property, right? So let's sit down and let's see how we can help you, how I can help you net the most money out of your property.
Good job,
That's it.
Cheryl. There were a good job there. She had a couple pieces in there that were really, really good. Great job jumping in there. All right, who's next?
That was very good. Okay, thanks. So, and the primary.
Who's next? I hear somebody unmuted. All right, so while we wait for our next brave soul, we're walking through the objections. Expect that this is your seller type. Embrace it. I don't know if you guys have ever had a loved one that was just difficult, you know what I mean? And then you kind of wear them down and then they're like your favorite person in the world and they love you so much because you were not intimidated by their tough exterior at all. So if you have ever experienced that with anybody, let that be your approach with the for sale by owners, okay? You want to continue to offer value and get to kind of the main point as quickly as possible because we know that 9 out of 10 of their objections is as it pertains to money. Maybe one will be, well, no, I've done for sale by owner many times and I know I can do it. I know what I'm doing. And then maybe the third one was I had a bad experience with other agents and all of you agents are alike, but in order of priority, it's the commission first and foremost. So with those for sale by owners, knowing that strong personality type, you want to embrace it and you want to applaud them for their courage to attempt to do such a thing. And you might even want to say, I recognize that you must be a very intelligent person, so forth and so on. Resist becoming combative with them, because that is kind of what their goal is. That's what their go-to is. And that's how they're going to kind of try to get off the phone with you. But you just kind of win them over by a gentler approach, but one that has a sober mind about what you bring to the table, because it is a fact that if they work with you, they're going to sell their home for much more money, and they're going to sell it faster and with less headache by selling it with you. So they actually need your assistance very much. They just don't know it yet. So you want to get them to a point for you to walk them down that path so that they see it for themselves. And you're absolutely asking, hey, is that primary goal to sell the property yourself or to net the most money? If I could show you how selling it with me will net you the most money, would you be interested in that? Is that something I can share with you? Are you available for 2 p.m. today to 3 p.m.? All I need is 20 minutes and I can show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. And that's where you're scheduling your appointment. You're going to the property, you're having that conversation with them. You can share with them myhouseporter.com, because that already comes at a tremendous discount to the seller, because we already know what that platform entails. So you literally have the solution that they need walking through the door. All you have to do is have the fortitude to get through the call and the persistence to continue to follow up with them so that you can actually present that product to them, okay? All right, great job, ladies. Who's next? And this time, let's engage a little bit more, because I'm going to say, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to give a slightly different objection there. So let's kind of talk it through. I hear somebody unmuted.
I'll I'll go if nobody else is.
Come on, Curtis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today, Mrs. Porter?
Doing well. All right. I am Mrs. For Sale by Owner.
Okay. How are you doing today, Mrs. For Sale by Owner?
Who is this calling my phone, and how can I help you?
This is Curtis Price. I'm calling in regards to your property that you have listed.
I do have my property, but it's not listed with an agent. I'm selling it myself. It's for sale by owner.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I just wanted to see how things are going for you.
They're going okay. I'm getting a lot of showings, and I don't need an agent.
Excellent. Do you have any offers in hand yet?
I don't have any offers in hand. Do you have a buyer for me?
I actually might have one for you, but I wanted to ask you, are you more interested in selling it for yourself, by yourself, or netting the most profit on the property?
I'm going to net the most on the property, and that's why I'm selling it by myself. Thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I would love to come by and kind of lend you my expertise. And even if you're not interested in working with an agent, I'll be willing to actually take a look at the property for you and see if there's any things that you might be able to, incorporate, even moving forward, selling it on your own. Is that something that you'd be interested in, having a professional local realtor come in and take a look? No commitment, no hard sell, just to see how you're doing and if I could help you out.
I don't want to pay a commission. Thank you very much.
No, that's the whole point. You won't have to pay a commission. I'm not your agent, but I could actually give you my eyes and see how you might be able to improve the sale for yourself. I'm free today.
This, sir. I don't believe this. Or you're telling me you don't want a commission and you're going to work for me for free? I don't want to pay a commission, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to come over, check out the property, see how it's going. And if I can give you any pointers, I don't know, do you even have a yard sign? I'd love to bring one by for you, see how it goes. And if I can help you sell it by yourself, great. And if, you down the road, if things change, I would love to have the opportunity to help you with your property.
I had a bad experience with an agent in the past. Why would I have you to come to my house today?
Well, to look at the property. How's it showing? Are there certain things that are being displayed that you might want to take down? Just so I can come in and actually have a expert realtor walk through the property just like one of your potential buyers would. Again, there's no commitment, there's nothing for you to sign or anything like that. I just want to come by and see if I can be of service.
Okay, if you have any buyers, you can come by.
Yeah, how's your schedule today at around 2 o'clock?
Maybe 3:15 is a little bit better for me.
3:15 it is. Well, again, my name is Curtis Price, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and seeing your lovely property.
Thank you, Curtis.
Very welcome.
Great job, Curtis. Great job. How do you guys feel about that? That seller threw him all kind of curveballs and Curtis was not swayed. Great job. And he closed for the deal. He's going to the house today at 3:15.
I'm
Wonderful.
packing now.
Would you say, Aurelia?
I said that was a wonderful job. I
Great
think I would
job.
invite you to my home.
There you go. Who's next? Let's see who hasn't gone. I want everybody to get this practice. You need to be comfortable going through objection handling, and you need to be comfortable dealing with a difficult personality type and still being able to manage and move forward with your objective, okay? All right, let's see. Who's next?
Okay, I can go next.
Come on, Anita.
Okay,
Anita can tell anything.
no. Knock, knock, knock.
Come on in. I know it's you, Anita. No, just kidding.
Hello, Mrs. For Sale by Owner. My name is Anita and I'm with Porterhouse International Realty Group. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Do you have a buyer for me?
I don't know if I have a buyer for you yet, but I was calling regarding your property. And I don't want to take much of your time at all, but I did want to reach out to you and hoping that perhaps maybe we can schedule a time that we can speak. But I just wanted to find out a little bit more about your property and how it's going. Have you received any offers on the property yet?
I haven't, but what company did you say you were with? I had a really bad experience with an agent at one of those companies before. What company are you with?
Okay, well, I'm with Porterhouse International Realty Group. And I'm quite sure that it was not us, and I really do. It's unfortunate that you have had a previous bad experience, but what I can tell you about our brokerage is that our motto is that you deserve the best. And so that is always how we operate. That's how we move forward with our buyers and sellers.
Well, thank you for telling me that. It was not Porterhouse, but I don't want to work with an agent and I'm not interested in paying the commission. So if you have a buyer, you can come on by. Otherwise, I don't want to work with the agent. I'm fine with selling the property myself.
Okay, well, wonderful. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, that you're not interested in working with an agent. But so then my next question to you then, if you don't mind, is so what's your primary goal for selling your property? Is it why are you selling it yourself? Is it, to net the most money that you can from the sale of the property? Or is it that you just really don't want to work with an agent?
It's because I don't want to work with an agent. Agents want you to pay all this commission and they're not even worth it. I can sell the property myself and I can save a lot of money. If I work with an agent, I'm going to be paying them commission that's going to make me lose money on the sale of my property. I don't need an agent. I can do this myself.
Okay, wow. Well, you absolutely, I'm sure you can do it yourself. You seem very determined and I appreciate that. But what if I told you that I can help you with that and you can absolutely, so the goal is you do not want to pay the commission. So I'm not even asking you for a commission. What if I told you that you could sell your, or I could have your take over and I could sell your home for you. And the only thing that you would then be paying is a finder's fee, a 3% finder's fee. And only 0.5% buyer agent's fee. What would your thoughts be in regards to that?
Interesting. My thought would be that I don't want to pay a commission because I'm going to make less money if I work with an agent. If I sell the property myself, then I'm going to make more money. So I
So let
don't
me-
want to work with an agent.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So are you willing to pay a buyer's agent commission? If
Yes, I am. If you have a
Right.
buyer, I'll pay. You can bring a
Okay.
buyer.
Okay, and so have you, do you know what you're going to pay as a buyer's agent?
I'm willing to pay maybe 2.5%.
2.5%? Okay, so, and with that, you're having to, go through the frustration of dealing with this process on your own. And so I'm glad to hear that you're willing to give a buyer's commission of 2.5%. That's great news. I would say to you, if I am able to sell your home for you, I will provide you with full service brokerage, where I will represent you from beginning to end. So, and the great part about that, there are several great reasons for that, is because number one, I'm an expert in my field of real estate. I have the ability to be able to market your property to endless qualified buyers. So we know that the buyers, when it is listed through us, will be qualified that comes in. So we're not just having just a random someone and not knowing what the status of their purchase power is, or if they even have been qualified. And then the security of working with an agent. There's no one who will come unrepresented. And you will have then the security behind that possibility or that feature as well. You'll have that security that of your property. And so also I make sure that we have all of the proper documents that are required as the buyer, the seller's agent. We make sure that we have all of the different, those that are going to be participants in the transaction. We make sure that we have those in place. We are able to, when we receive offers from specific buyers, that we are able to then further vet those buyers, and we're able to reach out and just confirm what the position is. And we want to always, when we receive an offer, we want to make sure that we get you to closing with that particular buyer. So we put in even some additional efforts in that way of being able to make sure that this buyer is in fact going to be able to get to closing for you. And we do that all for you. And I know you said you're 2.5%. We do that for you. We can do that for you for 2.5%. And then you would then only have to pay an additional 0.5% towards your buyer agent. Is that something that you think you could be interested in? We would take all of that responsibility on ourselves. And we know that we are, the way that we're able to market your property, that we're able to then pull in a pool of buyers that will then compete for your property, that you could end up actually netting more than what you had initially anticipated.
How am I going to net more than I initially anticipated? If I have to pay a commission and I have to pay you more.
So in this case, you're only paying an additional 0.5%. So you are still saving $15,000, $20,000 on the sale of your property, and you're getting all of the full service benefits from the brokerage. So we're not a discount brokerage. When we take on your listing, we take it on as full service. So we provide all the marketing and everything that we that a full service brokerage does. We make sure that the buyers that you receive are qualified buyers. We are not, we're not really dealing with buyers who are not qualified to purchase your home. And we are able to then do that in a way that pulls a pool of potential buyers that will then begin to compete against one another, which then drives the price or the offer price of your home. And we're able to then a lot of times get above what the seller has even anticipated to be able to get from the sale of their home.
Okay, I'd be interested in hearing it.
Okay, wonderful, Miss Cantankerous for sale by owner. How about tomorrow? I'd love to come over and also just take a look at your home, have some further discussion, show you in writing how we're going to be able to get that done. And how about tomorrow between maybe 2 or 3?
I think maybe 5 p.m. works a little bit better tomorrow because then my
5
husband
p.m.
will be home at that time.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm glad you mentioned that because we would need to have all participants there and available. So 5 o'clock works great for me. So I'll go ahead and I'll put you down in my calendar for tomorrow at 5.
Kudos to Anitha. She sold until the very,
Excellent.
very end. Kudos.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes, so just embrace the fact that your for sale by owners are not going to be rollover. Most of them are not going to roll over, the first or the second kind of piece of information that you offer them. I would tweak the conversation we had just a little bit because Anitha was given the most pertinent points for the actual presentation that you're going to do when you're in the house. So that how she was talking me through and walking me down that path of seeing all the features, advantages, and benefits that I would get from working with her versus selling it on my own and all of those things. That's how you want to manage the appointment when you actually get in there and you've taken the tour of the property and you're selling them on signing off on your listing agreement. All right. So I hope you guys were taking notes of all of those points that Anitha was saying because she gave us a thorough overview. Excellent job. All right, who's next? All right, let's see who we need to call on. Who haven't we had so far? We have not had Angela Skipper. Talita, if you are able to unmute yourself, I would love to role play with you real quick. Let's see, we've had Aurelia, we've had Curtis, we've had Cheryl, we've had Anitha. All right, come on, Angela.
I wish I would have went after this for sale by owner lady wasn't so angry with everyone.
Who's calling? Why are you calling my phone today?
Hi, I'm calling to speak to the owner of the such and such street.
I don't know that owner. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, Angela.
I need to make sure I'm speaking to the owner. That's why I don't want to speak to the nanny. So
Hold on, Mom, the phone.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. How may I help you today?
Hi, my name is Angela Skipper. I'm calling from Porterhouse International Realty Group. And I noticed that your house is for sale. Is it still available?
Yes, it is still available.
Okay.
Do you have a buyer for me?
Well, it depends. You're online, you only displayed 5 photos. So I'm trying to get a little bit more information on your property. How long has it been on the market?
It's been on the market for about 45 days or so.
Okay. Have you received any offers?
Do you have a buyer for me?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I do work with buyers in the area, but I need to know a little bit more about your property before I can determine whether or not your property is a good fit for my buyer. So I just wanted to know, have you received any offers on the property?
I don't have anything in hand just yet, but I'm not looking to pay a commission.
I understand that. Well, my ultimate goal is to see the property. I want to see if it is a good fit for some potential prospects for the area who are looking in that area. Is there any way I can come by there and perhaps this afternoon or tomorrow to take a look at it? I'd love to tour it to see if it's a good fit for my buyer.
Yeah, you can come by this afternoon. I'm showing between 2 and 4 today.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't have any much more to say. I want to get in the door. I can go on if you'd like.
Okay, anytime between 2 and 4 p.m.
Okay, thank you. See you then.
Thank you.
So I was expecting you to give me a little bit
That's
more.
not fair.
than a yes.
Angela just asked for a tour. That's all she asked. She wants to come by and take a look for the buyer.
So I can tell I want to get in there. And I didn't confirm that I have a specific buyer, but if I can get in the door, I feel like I have a better opportunity to handle some of the objections than on the phone. It's easier for them to do that than for me to get in and start building the relationship with them once I get my foot in the door.
You can absolutely come and tour the property today between 2 and 4.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
approach.
approach. I like that approach. Much less combative.
Angela didn't want to contend at all on the phone. She just wanted to come and tour.
Well, no, I thought you were, I don't know. I thought you were going to give me some more. I was ready for a little bit more, but so
I can't contend with that. I want to sell the property. You want to come and tour it. You may have buyers for it. You want to take a look and see what it looks like. Of course, I'm
Okay.
selling the property. Come on.
Well, that's kind of the approach. I feel like if I can keep things at a yes, 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 your answers being yes, then I'm going to get to the property instead of spending so much time trying to convince them. You learn a lot about them just talking to them. So I would have gone a little bit further, I guess. But when I get a yes, I don't want to say anything else.
Okay, let's see who's next. So for everybody on the line, I hope you guys are taking notes for the different approaches, because as we've said, these are various tools for your tool belt, and you'll need to be able to adapt based on the personality type, right? I'm preparing you guys for the most objective for sale by owner. So when you get the easier ones, it'll be a cakewalk. You're like, oh, this is easy. Mrs. Porter was, just giving us a hard way to go from beginning to end. So I just want you guys to have the fortitude to deal with that. Okay. With that being said, we know we began with the question, we introduced ourselves, and then we got to the line of questioning, hey, is the primary reason that you're selling because you want to sell it by yourself or to net more money? So we really want to find out what their goal is, and that's the purpose of the call that we're making, or that's the introduction to the call that we're making. And the walk away or the key takeaway for our call is the appointment. So just keep in mind the call. What you want out of that call, the way that you know it's successful is that you got an appointment and you can actually go to that house. All right. And then when you get to the appointment, that's when you're going to actually sell the seller, right? You give them somewhat of a teaser in that call when you're asking them, hey, like we just said, is your primary objective to sell it yourself or to net the most money? Now you've gotten to the heart of what their issue is going to be 99% of the time. Get that out the way, so that there is no kind of misunderstanding. They already know that that they are thinking about commission. Have that conversation early on, right? If they start talking about, a past agent, so forth and so on, something that I want to say it was Anita that did on the call, she was affirming their position in a way, and there's a certain level of importance to that, because when you have a seller, you're trying to make friends. So it's almost like, if they are going to come out and they have these objections, you want to find a way to build a bridge. So if they've had a bad relationship with the agent in the past, I'm so sorry that happened. That's unfortunate to hear that. Not all agents are like that. And I'm sure that I can imagine that you would agree that all industries have some professionals that are exceptional, and then they have some that just are not. And I'm sure that you would agree that real estate is no different. So with the experience that you had with that past agent, I'm really sorry for that. That is what gives agents a bad reputation. But just like Anita said, the motto of our company is because you deserve the best. So everything that we do, we endeavor to provide you with the very best service available in real estate. So I'm sure you could agree that there are going to be some exceptional people at what they do. And that's what I'm looking to bring to the table, or something like that. So you guys got to be willing to kind of walk with them down their path of objection, knowing that you have the answer no matter which way they turn. All right, who has not had a chance to go just yet? Any more brave souls? Let's see. I have a couple iPhones that haven't gone. And Talita, I'm not sure if you're unable to mute yourself. I know that you're at work. If you are able to unmute yourself, I would love to give you the opportunity. Otherwise, one of our iPhone users.
Hello.
Hello, Talita.
I don't know if the phone is going to ring while I'm doing this.
No worries.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And remember, the key takeaway from this call is for you to get an appointment. All right.
Hello, Miss For Sale by Owner. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I was in the neighborhood and I saw that you had a For Sale by Owner sign in your yard. And I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about the reason for your selling your home. Is it by yourself? Is it just to net the most money, or you just want to sell it yourself?
Well, I don't want to pay a commission. That's why I'm selling it myself.
Well, are you willing to pay a buyer's commission?
I
Buyer's
am.
agent?
Do you have a
Okay.
buyer?
Well, I may, but I just want to talk to you about get in and tour your home and see exactly how the home is.
Okay.
So
Are you bringing your buyer to the tour?
No, I'm not bringing the buyer to the tour. I just want to kind of view the home and see, if that's something that my buyers would like.
Sure, you can come by and take a tour of the property.
When is a good time to come by?
I'm available today between 2 and 4.
Okay. So how's 3:30?
3:30 is fine.
Okay. Well, I'll see you around 3:30.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So as you guys can see, we have a mixed bag of calls. You have everything, you have some easy way to go. You have some, more difficult. You have some that are moderate. There was a key point that Angela said that I just want to speak to really quickly. She said something about getting the seller and I will just state this a little bit differently, in a rhythm of saying yes. So questions you can confirm that you already know are good to ask. Hey, I see that you have a property for sale by owner. Is that true? Or right? Or is this correct? Or something like that, because of course that's a given, right? But you're getting them to say yes. I noticed that you're selling it on your own, right? Or is that correct? Yes. If you see that they're willing to pay a buyer agent's commission or something like that, maybe you have that conversation later on. But getting them in that rhythm or that habit of saying yes, when you get to your question and you say, is your goal, your primary objective to sell it on your own or to net the most money? Whatever their answer is, then you can follow up with, well, if I could show you a way that you could actually net more money, allowing me to sell it for you, is that something that you'd be interested in hearing? Right? So from that perspective, of course, they would be interested in hearing something that allows them to net more money. Of course, they would be interested in anything that's going to save them hassle and all that good stuff. The bottom line is they just don't think they don't think that you are able to do a better job than they are. So there's some things that you're going to have to kind of truce and build a bridge on. There's some things that you're going to have to say, hey, I understand. There's some things that you're going to have to say, hey, I apologize, for the whole industry. I wish you didn't have that experience. I'm looking forward to giving you a better experience. but at the end of the day, you're looking to make peace with them. So the people who engaged me and helped to diffuse what it was that was going on, those people are able to kind of overcome those obstacles and get the deal closed. And then you see additional approaches that are like, hey, I just want to come and get my foot in the door. All of them work. These are different tools for your tool belt. So just kind of learn from the call today. Does anybody have any questions? All right, let me.
I was gonna say, I just think this was really great, and I hope we do some of this on Saturday.
Yes, yes, yes. So this evening's, so for our lead locomotive this evening, we are doing more of this evening. I wanted to quickly reiterate because we are getting, we're a little bit past time. I just wanted to quickly reiterate some of these sites. So buyowner.com, I simply typed in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, got 431 responses in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. FSBO.com, I typed in Maryland. I got 186 responses in Maryland. For sale by owner, I typed in Maryland. I got 900 results in Maryland. So remember we talked last week, there were about 53 different sites in my search. Some of the most prominent ones are the ones that I pulled up for us. But with that being said, these are not all of the sites at all. So I want you guys to, open it up on your browser, do your Google search, start with these, and then you can expand your list as extensively as you would like to. But there are so many homes that are available that you'll be able to reach directly out to the seller for. Okay. One of the scripts that is right in your broker mint library, and this is in your real estate call scripts guide. It's the 12-page guide. A different script, I believe it starts on page 8. If it's the same guide, let's see if it starts on page 7. There you go. So this is a different for sale by owner script. It's one, hi there. This is, and you can say, this is Angela Skipper with Porterhouse. I'm calling about your home for sale. Is this the owner? And let's go ahead and walk this through really quickly.
Where is this? I'm not seeing it on the screen if you were giving it to us on the screen.
Thank you for that, Dee. I was definitely intending to share. So that means you guys didn't see the sites that I just walked through either. Thank you, Dee.
Yes.
Can you guys see the screen now?
Yes.
I appreciate it. All right, so this is in your broker mint library. This is in your call scripts guide here. It is page 7. And since you didn't see it, let me just go back. It says real estate call scripts. It's the 12-page guide in the folder that says agent scripts. You guys know that you have so many scripts in that library, lead generation guides. Each of them are packed with scripts. This one in particular, if you go to page 7, There you go. There's your for sale by owner script. Let's talk this through, Dee. You just volunteered.
Hi there. This
Yes.
is Dee Richardson with Porterhouse International Realty Group, and I'm calling about the home for sale. Is this the owner?
Is this another agent trying to call to sell my house?
I would say that I am calling because I have quite a few buyers in my network.
Dee, go with the script.
Oh, I am. And your name is?
My name is Mrs. Porter.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mrs. Porter. I'm calling because I'm wondering the same thing every other agent in the area is thinking. Why?
We feel good about selling ourselves without having to pay a commission.
Right. Tell me this, Mrs. Porter, what is most important to you in selling your home? Is it for selling it on your own, or are you more concerned about getting the highest price and making the most money for your home?
I'm definitely interested in getting the highest price, but go ahead because you have another look there.
Sounds to me like making the most money is the way to go. What if we could help you and help you sell your home faster with less hassle and risk and net more money? Would you consider interviewing with us?
How can you guarantee that?
Great question. When we get together, I'll show you. Does tomorrow or Friday work for you? Or Saturday work for you? Which one is better?
Tomorrow at 4 is good.
Okay, let me come to you tomorrow at 4. Let me make sure I will text you as soon as I get off the phone and make sure that you have my contact information, and I will be in touch with you tomorrow at 4. Also, I would like to reconfirm your address. So thank you very much. I'll see you
Thank
tomorrow
you
at
so
4.
much. I will see you tomorrow at 4. So when you get me for tomorrow at 4, stop right there. That was excellent, Dee. I want to point out one aspect of this script that is very intentional, that at the very bottom where it says great question, when we get together, I'll show you. I want you guys to embrace that, because there's going to be the temptation to take them down over the phone. There's going to be the temptation to sell them and give them, you know, every talking point. And I want you guys to be strategic about placing that part of the conversation for when you're actually with them. And that's when you're going to sell them on it. Okay. So because my screen was not being shared at the time that I went to these, let me just run back through this really quickly. On buyowner.com, now that you guys can see my screen, I simply typed in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and I got 431 properties right in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So that's not all of Maryland, that is only Upper Marlboro, Maryland. As we talked about, each one of these sites, they have their own listings. So this is not a hub whereby all of the listings being sold by owners is going to be found on any one of these. They all have different homes, okay? So then you have your FSBO.com, typed in Maryland, there were 186, and this is real time, okay? Then for sale by owner, type in Maryland, there are over 900 results. These are all real time, okay? So I just wanted to kind of reiterate that so that you guys can see that number at the top of your screen, so that we are all aware that there is an abundance of opportunities for this for sale by owner, and each and every last one of them needs to sell their home. So there is no guessing as to whether or not they need to sell, okay? So we're going to go ahead and stop there. Thank you guys for your patience. We will reconvene this evening. This evening, we are doing scripts and we are doing calls. So we are actually calling for sale by owners this evening. We're going through scripts. So what we began today, we're going to conclude this evening, and we're going to actually move forward with calling to set some of those appointments. So we will be working from the Upper Marlboro office, coming together to do those scripts. If you guys want to join us virtually, if you're not able to join us in the Upper Marlboro office, you can make the calls from where you are, and we can do it in a hybrid setting as well. But just wanted to share with you what the lead locomotive was for this evening, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Anita, I turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Porter. And so, yes, very good. I'm so excited for all of you all. You did such a wonderful job. And we, as Ms. Porter said, that, you know, you can join us via Zoom, but it will be so great to actually be together as a group, because then there is definitely encouragement there when we are together. And you find yourself being a little bit more courageous when you have someone there to support you. So that's a great. Also wanted to make sure that we remind you about this weekend's boot camp, the new agent boot camp from beginning at 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And we want to encourage us all to join this Saturday. If you haven't responded to that, then also please respond. But definitely we want to make sure that we have everyone there in attendance this afternoon, okay? So I believe that that is all. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop the recording.